Denis Diderot. The philosopher has never killed any priest, whereas the priest has killed a great many philosophers. On October 5, 1713, Denis Diderot was born in Lingens, France, one of Didier and Angelique Diderot's 7 children. His father was a cobbler. As a child, Denis was considered as a brilliant student by his teachers, and was decided that he should serve the church. In 1726, he enrolled in the Jesuit College of Louis le Grand, and probably later attended the Jansenist College de Harcourt. Diderot then abandoned religion as a career and decided to study law. His sister, a nun, died from being overworked in the convent, may have affected Diderot's opinion of religion. In 1734, Diderot decided to seek his fortune by writing. Against his family's consent, he spent the next 10 years earning his living by translating books and tutoring the children of wealthy families. He spent his leisure time studying and chasing after women.
An interesting fact about Diderot was that he got a Master's of Arts degree from the University of Paris. His first individual work was called Essay Virtue and Medicine. This helped him create the first encyclopedia for Paris. One of Diderot's well-known plays is The Family Father, made in 1758. In Diderot's 26 years of editing, publishing, and writing, it was his plan to, and I quote, assemble the knowledge scattered over the face of the earth, to explain its general plan to the men with whom we live, so that we may not die without having deserved well of the human. Diderot was extremely influential in forming the rationalistic essence of the 18th century.
Denis Diderot, along with his co-editor Jean Leron, were given a task to translate the Ephraim Chambers Cyclopedia to French in 1745. By doing so, Diderot managed to create one of the most important books of the 18th century. Diderot's focus on the encyclopedia was to expand knowledge and result in controversial reactions from the church and state. The information in the encyclopedia provided educational materials of technologies. Diderot wanted the readers to be able to create their own opinion on the economy rather than basing their thoughts on the mercantilist system, which was a system that focused on building a wealthy and powerful state through exports. The encyclopedia helps explain different types of mechanical arts. Denis wanted to make sure that anyone could understand the information that was provided. The type of information Diderot used was based off on reason and knowledge, rather than religious belief or emotional response. Many readers had faith in progress, which is a term used for belief without proof or evidence provided. Diderot also wrote Lettres sur les aveugles, meaning an essay on blindness, explaining the issue of blind humans not being able to read. He had this great idea of teaching those people to read using their sense of touch. This was a part of his theory of survival through adaptation. Another issue Diderot spent his time thinking about was materialist atheism, which was the theory that everything was made only of matter, and everything depends on matter for existence. Denis liked to focus on materialist philosophy, meaning that matter is fundamental substance in nature and all phenomena are identical with material interactions. Denis believed that the origins of life did not come from divine intervention. What he meant by this was that humans were not created through the works of God. He thought that there were too many complexities and contradictions in human nature that conflicted with religious beliefs that God was the producer of such.
Denis Diderot died on July 31st, 1784, in Paris, France, at the age of 70. His death was caused by emphysema, also known as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. This type of disease happened because of the blockage in the tube airflows, making it hard for him to breathe. During Diderot's time alive, he taught others it's a right to try and find the truth, but also hold curiosity. The first step towards philosophy is incredulity, by Denis Diderot. By this quote, Diderot meant to say it's always acceptable to be skeptical or curious about anything in society.
In his lifetime, Diderot encouraged all people of the 18th century to really think about the world around them. He helped them understand that questioning their faith was not a bad thing. Questions led to answers that eventually revealed the truth.
Saint Beuve has quoted that Diderot was the first great writer who belonged wholly and undividedly to modern democratic society.
By this quote, Saint Beuve meant to say Diderot was completely part of a society where many questions were acceptable and where beliefs were valued over research. Diderot was the first writer who compiled his writings and works that were completely contributed to the democratic society.
Skepticism is the first step towards the truth.